call. We're going live. We're going live. We are live. We are going live. We are live. We are live. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, we're live, honey. Yeah.
Yay!
And then I'll have to go. Okay.
It's exciting.
Awesome, awesome. We are live. And I'm so glad that
Yay!
okay, so nice, nice, nice. We did it. We did it. We're
We
on.
did it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I want to say thank you so much, Jeanette, for coming today and for being a part of this opportunity so that we can get your information about who you are, how you serve humanity out in front of the masses. How about that?
Yes.
And on all
Yes.
of our podcast interviews, you will be up on permanently listed on our posted on our YouTube Unity and Service YouTube TV channel, as well as we will send you a copy of the cut and edited content under 15 minutes each. It will be in two segments so that you can post on your social media platform. And Unity and Service, our team also promote all of our interviews. Before the event, we announce it, and then after the event, we post as well the actual interview because we want the people to understand how you serve, inspire to healing humanity. So with that,
Yes.
I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to read your bio, give everybody a little bit about you. Jeanette Bass is a grief and purpose coach, end of life care coach, children's book author, and compassionate grief advocate dedicated to helping individuals and families heal after loss. Drawing from her personal journey and professional background in social work, Jeanette transforms pain into purpose through education,
Yes.
storytelling, and faith centered support. She is the author of Granny Wonder, Stopping the Villains of South of Social Media,
Yes.
and also Can I Call Heaven?
Yes.
This guide leads children through the grief with hope and understanding. Through Inspire to Healing with Jeanette, she creates safe, inclusive spaces where healing, resilience, and renewed purpose takes place. That's my
Yes.
story. I love your story, and we're going to stick to both of them. How about that?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're
I
gonna
love
jump
it.
right in. We're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. I got a few questions I want to ask you so we can shed light on how you serve humanity. And the first question I want to ask you is how did your personal experience with grief shape the mission of Inspire to Healing, and the No Grief Zone? I like that word, no grief zone. I think I told you that when I first met you. And
Yes,
I'm
you
just
did.
gonna
Yes,
run
you
that
did.
question again. How
Yes.
did your personal experience with grief shape your mission of inspiring to healing and the no grief zone in 3 minutes or less? Lay it on us.
All right. Well, thank you for asking. Thank you for having me. Well, how my grief journey started when I was 8 years old. I was traumatized at the fact that my grandpapa was no longer with me. And that really did something to me. But one thing I can say, my grandpapa was a deacon of the church and he believed in God. So I always was taught that God is our father. So it made me start to seek more and look after God for the things that I wanted and needed at that time in my life. So the grief that I was experiencing, which I didn't know what I was experiencing, led me to this path now. And I understand how it is to feel a lot of anxiety and feel lost and feel lonely, the loss of a loved one. And I didn't want anybody else to go through that. So here I am. God gave me the vision, and that's what I do. I try to do the best I can when having people feel more, not alone, let them know they're not alone, and give them some support and tools through my journey, my education of being an MSW. Yeah. Okay. Okay, could you repeat that? I'm
My
so
next
sorry.
question then is you often say that pain can be transferred into purpose. What does that transformation look like in real life for someone who is newly grieving or feeling emotionally stuck or
Okay.
insecure?
Or insecure. Okay, when I talk about turning your pain into purpose, I mean a lot of times people go through life experiencing different types of grief. I just want to start right there. So when I said your pain turned into your purpose, that it could be a loss of a child. You know, some people lose the loss of a child and they feel like they could never, they give up, they stop communicating, and they forget who they was prior to the pregnancy. But yet one day they may have said, you know, I may have been a good writer, or they have been a good person who comfort others, right? And so through that pain, they probably decide to volunteer. Okay, once they got to volunteer at a children's shelter or volunteer as an aide to mothers who are single, right? And suddenly they realize that that pain that they experienced a loss through giving back the love to someone else and supporting someone else, they realize that that is the talent and that could be the calling that God have them for. So that possibly if they have had that child, they wouldn't been able to have free enough of their time to give the love and support of their experience to someone else. What I'm really talking about is your test that sometimes God put us through is a testimony, and you can gain strength to show somebody that yes, I can make it. If I went through this and I can make it, and so can you. So a lot of times people find their purpose in life, their God-given purpose and talents come out of them through that pain of the grief to where they realize that all that was not for nothing. It was to give to someone else. So that's what I mean when I say that.
Very well said.
Mhm.
I like that. You explained it very well. Pain can be, and I have to agree, transformed into purpose. I've been there.
Yes.
I've been a caregiver, and I know exactly what you mean. And
Yes, exactly.
many blessings come out of the fact that we give our time to serving those people that we care about. And, you know, just
Exactly.
taking care of them, being there for them. And then we may not see it at the moment, but
Yes.
at the end, and sometimes during the process, we see
Exactly.
the blessings that are there. My
That's
next
right.
question is, why is it important to introduce children to grief in a gentle, faith-centered way? And how can caregivers start?
Well, it's very important to, okay, number one, today's kids are smarter than I would say I was. Why? Because they have the smartphone, they have the internet. Long time ago, how I was raised not the family not to tell their kids that this loved one had passed away. They didn't think kids really understood that the purpose was sometimes if they don't see them, they eventually forget about them. But kids are smarter than we think. So it's very important when they don't see someone or they don't, say if they lost a pet that they grew up with, they're going to feel that pain. And a lot of times kids' emotions are studied, you know, they're still dealing with their emotions, so they don't know how to accept it. So they will act out in anger, depression, all types of things. And it's important that they understand what grief is, why it's okay to grieve. And that's why I think it's important for parents who are having problems with their adolescents or kids that understand what grief and loss is to get professional help to help them move past it and just talk to them and be present and support them in that. So I think that would help a lot of children and families move past what they would call the adolescent stage. Oh, they're doing that because they're that age. No, a lot of times these kids are hurting, but they feel they don't have a safe space to talk, or they feel that their feelings are not respected or just passed through, so they don't say anything and they suffer in silence. So that's why we need to stop these babies from hurting by explaining to them that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to miss that dog. It's okay to miss your friend, but life still goes on.
Awesome.
And it's,
Awesome. Life
yes,
definitely still goes on. So the best
yes,
thing for us to do is embrace it,
embrace it.
accept it, and definitely look for the blessing in it,
Yes.
because it's a blessing in it. And then we must keep moving because there are other people that need to hear our stories.